What's up, my lovely Bamborinos and Bamborinas? Lamnes is back today with another ultimate guide for Beth, the water hell lady. And today we were talking about her skills and usage. We were talking about the rune sets you can build her with. We were talking about team comps for RTA, and we're gonna talk about her overall ranking, which I will give her. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it and start with her skill set. So first skill, nothing special, won't just do damage and inflict continuous damage for 2 turns with a 50% chance, goes up to 70% chance. She does AoE multi-hit. She hits 3 times every enemy, and each attack has a 35% chance to inflict a dot, and will deal 50% more damage to units that already have a dot, and with a 2-turn cooldown. So very good for damage dealing. And her bread and butter skill, Eternal Scar. She attacks all enemies 2 times, decreases the attack bar of the enemies for each harmful effect on the enemies. So 2 harmful effects equals 60% attack bar reduction. And she gives 2 debuffs. One is defense break, which is very nice, AoE defense break. The second skill is cleanse block. So she's a cleanse blocker, she's a ATB reduce unit. She does AoE damage and death break and block cleanse. So a lot of things in one kit. And with the dots you will have some extra damage. And yeah, how would you rune her? So my favorite build for her is Despair for the main set, or you can go with Violent if you want the extra turns and extra damage. But I think utility wise she's very good on Despair, because she reduces attack bar of the enemies, and the Despair proc, so the stun, counts as a harmful effect. So if you Despair stun a unit with her 3rd skill, she will reduce attack bar by 90% if she applies all the debuffs. And so it's nearly a guaranteed turn for you and denying a turn of the enemy. So a win-win situation. And for Violent, I think it's okay. If your Violent runes are much better than your Despair ones, then go for Violent, but I prefer Despair. For Offset, I would recommend Seal. I think that's the best choice, because it's another harmful effect you can apply passively with runes. And so with Despair and Seal, if both proc, you have a good chance to decrease the attack bar by 120%, so to 0, which is very nice. It will guarantee you a 2nd turn. And the second skill attacks all enemy 3 times, so you have 3 times the chance to apply a Seal effect and dots, which is extremely beneficial for her. But overall, never forget, it's always better to go for stats than rune sets. So stats over sets. And yeah, I would say if you can go with a good Seal set and combine it with your good Despair set, you will be fine. I think Despair or Violent is mandatory. I don't think she's good on Swift or any stat set like Fatal Rage, whatever. If that is your best set, of course, go for it. It's always better to have, like, I don't know, 30, 40 more speed and much more attack than having low stats just to get the set. So it depends on your rune quality and the runes on the rest of your team. And for the stats, I would say you focus for speed tune her so she goes after your strippers and does her job. I think the second set you should focus on is accuracy, and the nice thing is she awakens into accuracy, so it's easier to build. And yeah, after that I think go for attack. I think attack is always better than crit rate, crit damage, because there's other stuff. Maybe you don't want to crit because of ragdoll, whatever, so attack is always good for additional damage. And yeah, and I think for her artifacts you should always aim for additional damage stuff. She will do good damage with that because she has multi-hits AoE. And after that, you can go for crit rate, crit damage, because I don't think you play her in the bruiser comp. I don't see where she would shine there, even though she has good base HP, she has low defense. So I don't think it will work in the bruiser comp. I think she's more in turn 1 CC cleave style of comp. So yeah, go for speed, accuracy, then attack, then crit rate, crit damage. If you can fit some defensive stats like resistance, HP, defense, then go for it. If not, it's fine, because you either kill in 2 or 3 turns or you die. So I think that's the place where she shines the most. So team compositions with her, I would say the best friend for her is Veronica. I think you will laugh at this, but hear me out. The third skill needs a stripper. So will runes, you don't want the enemy to have immunity because you want to defense break, you want to put harmful effect, and so there should be no immunity on the enemy team. Veronica with the third skill does that. She strips and she resets the enemies. If you put her on seal or despair, maybe even, she can even put an harmful effect. But that doesn't even matter, because let Beth do her thing. She will defense break, set up the enemy team for Veronica's second skill. Second skill comes in with damage and dots. The dots from Veronica amplify the second skill of Beth, so she does more damage and can put more dots on the enemy team. So like these two are a very good cleave combo in itself, and I think the rest of the team is just for support then. Yeah, so with what units can you build her with? If you want a more free-to-play friendly option, it's not very free-to-play friendly, but you can go with Dark Robo. I think that is a very good friend for her too, because same argumentation. Second skill of Dark Robo strips and decreases attack bar, and if you play him on despair, you can put stunts on, and after that she can, like, if you tune it right, she can go and do her defense break, decrease attack bar. Dark Robo does third skill, puts dots on. Beth does second skill, puts dots on, and does more damage. I know the second skill of Dark Robo is potentially absorbing more attack bar than 100%, so he will go right after he does a second skill, but that doesn't even matter, so he can put the dots on without defense break. That's not the end of the world. Beth can still cycle into second skill easily, because if you have a lot of dots on the enemy with third skill of Dark Robo, she can do her third skill, Eternal Scar, and will reduce the attack bar of the enemies to 0. So a very good best friends, I would say. For general team comp, I would say focus on 2 AoE strippers. If they have speed leads, then it's even better, because with these teams you want to outspeed the enemy teams. So go for 2 AoE strippers, because if one gets banned, of course you need another one, a backup stripper. And if both come through, just make sure that at least one of the strippers benefits the skills of Beth, or have good synergy with. Then I would like to go for attack bar boost. If you cannot hit the speed thresholds you need to have a perfect speed tune, then an attack bar booster can help you, like Sheer. Very high base speed unit, and can guarantee you turn 1, can be a target to be banned by the enemy. Or you can go for another AoE damage, and yeah, or something that defense breaks and decreases attack bar, like has like a substitution to her, so her role doesn't get killed if she gets banned. Like you can go for Savannah, she does defense break with attack bar reduction. You can go for Tyrannus, the fire druid, he can defense break and reduce attack bar. So I think she can be replaced. So yeah, go for these units and you will have a good team. And if your first units are fast enough and you are confident to outspeed the enemy, I think this is the team for you. In which slot should you pick her? I think she's very good in slot 4 or 5 as a good counter pick. Like for example, you could go with some wind strippers like Wind Robo or stuff, and people would start to pick fire units. and the most common fire counter picks are Douglas, Rakuni, Marsha, Juno, whatever, Fire Monkey. All these units get countered by Beth. She will destroy these units. So she's a very good surprise unit. And if you want to bring her into the match, I think the earlier you pick her, the less likely she's going to be banned. But you can still pick her as a force ban. So overall ranking, I think she has a very good skill set, and her base stats are really high. She has good attack, she has good base speed. You can work with her. She awakens into accuracy, so she's easier to build. Her rune ability is with that is easy because you can just go for speed and accuracy. These are the most important stats. If you hit max accuracy and good speed, so she's speed to the rest of your team. After that, everything is a bonus. The more attack, crit rate, and crit damage you get, the better. If you don't, you can still go for a tanky Beth and take more turns to kill the enemy, but then you take more risks. So I think the more offensive route is better than the defensive route. For usability, I think she doesn't fit into every team. You need double strips, so you really commit into a team with her. You cannot pivot so easily if you want to pick her, and so you either have to commit with your first picks and getting double strips in. And if the enemy does something that, like Wind Monkey, Diana, whatsoever, like wind units that passively get attack bar or revenge, then maybe you can be in trouble, because if she glances and doesn't hit as much harmful effects, her usefulness decreases a lot. So yeah, for usability I would think she's a B, and overall I would grade her an A. She's a very solid unit. I think with the buff she is very useful in RTA, and I think if she gets, like, instead of attack bar decrease and attack bar absorption, or attack bar decrease with an attack bar increase for herself, that would be even better than absorption. Or maybe even just a heal block on the third skill. I think a heal block for 2 turns and she would be perfect, because she would counter so many things. And heal block with cleanse block, I think, is the best combo you could have in the harmful effect department. So yeah guys, if you have any questions or you have other builds and you want to discuss your build, then go into the comment section, share your thoughts, share your builds, and help each other out to build the perfect Beth. And I see you in the next video, guys.